In today's Talker, we are re-exploring the issue of tipping, and while some industries heavily rely on tips, some consumers might be feeling some tipping fatigue. For more on this now, we bring in CNN's Chris Wynn. Aloha, Chris. How's it going?
Yeah, these days customers are tipping less because of inflation. That's one of the top reasons. In addition to that, they're overwhelmed with too many tip options at checkout because more businesses are using new digital technology to finish up the transactions.
18% gratuity is already included in the bill. Girl, it's water.
Across social media, a backlash to the growing number of quick service restaurants like Starbucks and Panera asking customers to tip. It's up 11% from pre-COVID levels, according to data from Toast, a restaurant management software company.
You had a tip at the bottom? A tip? For what?
That's a little too crazy for me, and I refuse.
The average tipping percentage at these places is down, dropping to just below 16%. Professor Depayan Biswas has studied tipping for a decade. He says this new tipping trend started with the boom of digital kiosks.
That's when these businesses realized they can put in a tipping option and earn a lot of money. If you're adding 10%, 20%, that's a huge jump in revenue for a lot of these businesses. And the digital interface facilitated that.
He's concerned the backlash could spread to other services.
That's my biggest worry, that it might actually affect the industry where it really matters the most, the full service restaurants where the servers don't even make minimum wage.
Dylan, as you know, tipping is a very personal decision, but we did speak with an expert who shared his tip without hesitation list. And only 3 groups made the cut: servers, bartenders, and washroom attendants.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris, for that report. For people dealing with inflation and tighter household budgets, is there any advice for them when they feel the pressure to tip?
That's a great question, Dylan. Experts who study tipping culture and consumer behavior say more people are actually starting to walk away from those digital kiosks when presented with all of those options. They just don't even want to make a decision. But their recommendation is simple, and that is to pay in cash when possible.
That is a very good tip to tip. Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate your time here on This Is Now.